Hi, Mr. Allred's class. I'm Miss Mallory, and I am from the Quinen Street Project. And I am here to bring drama to you. I met you a couple of months ago in that first class, and I'm so sorry that we didn't get to continue classes. I was really looking forward to working with you guys and playing more games. And I'm sure that this is a really weird and confusing time. But for the next half an hour or so, we're going to learn some drama and how to tell stories using the tools that you have already on you. So again, I'm Miss Mallory, and I'm from the Quinen Street Project. And yeah, just to remind you, the Quinen Street Project is a nonprofit organization that brings drama into your classroom. So originally we had 12 lessons or 12 weeks planned out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine a couple of the lessons in one video each week for you to watch and to learn from. So just to go over it, the new story that we'll be working on, and I have a separate video for you to watch the story. It is called The Drum Dream Girl. And yeah, so if you haven't already, go ahead and watch that, because during our lessons we're going to talk about how the story relates to what we're learning in this drama class. So again, it is The Drum Dream Girl. Let's review what we learned on that first day a couple of months ago. So first off, what is drama? If you know the answer to this question, feel free to say it out loud. Feel free to write it down. What is drama? Do you remember what drama is? If you don't, it's okay. It's been a while. Drama is basically telling a story, and you tell those stories using tools that you already have on you. Some classes, some students would say, drama is what you see on the playground every day, or it's what happens at lunch, or when someone disagrees with you, when people are arguing, and those are all true. Those are all right answers. But for the purpose of this class, drama is being able to tell a story. And we tell these stories using tools that you have on you already, like I said. And that first day I went over this with you. The 3 tools of an actor are what you use to tell a story or to get into drama. And so you can have outside tools, right? You can have props, the things that you bring into scenes with you. You can have your costumes, you can have the set, the stage, music. All of those things are tools, but you actually have 3 tools on you already. And so if you remember them, feel free to say them out loud. But what are the 3 tools of an actor? So the 3 tools of an actor are your body, your voice, and your imagination. So those are all things that you have on you already. You don't need anything outside of you to tell a story. You have everything on you already. So the 3 tools of an actor are your body, your voice, and your imagination. Again, the 3 tools of an actor are your body, your voice, and your imagination. Another word that I taught you on the first day, and we actually did the hot lava activity and game to kind of act this out and to show you in real life what it means to be an ensemble. So ensemble is ENSEMBLE. It's a French word, and it means together. So when I say ensemble, that means that you are working together. A couple of different ways that we learned how to work together in that first class. So first we did a the clap circle. And so we all stood in a circle and we passed the clap around and we made eye contact, and we used our body language to let our neighbors or classmates know that we were passing the clap around the circle. And that shows working together, because you need two people in order to pass that clap around. You're using teamwork to pass that clap around. And that clap could be metaphorical. It could stand for, a message, a story. So it takes teamwork. It takes listening and eye contact and body language in order to pass these stories along and to tell these stories. And another way that we showed what ensemble work is, again, ensemble means teamwork or working together, is that we played the hot lava game. So I brought those carpet squares into your classroom, and we acted like everything between the two spaces that we had designated was hot lava. And so you were put into these groups and you were given just a certain amount of carpet squares, and you and your team had to come up with and strategize ways that you were going to get across the lava pit and in order to stay alive. And to help each other out, because if you didn't work together, it didn't work as well, right? So if you took your time, if you listened to each other, if you made eye contact, and you learned from what other teams were doing, that's ensemble work, that's teamwork. So that's what we learned on our first day. We learned what drama is, which is to tell a story using your tools. And the three tools of an actor are your body, your voice, and your imagination. So those are the three tools of an actor. And finally, we learned what ensemble is. What is ensemble? Working together. Ensemble means together. So what we are going to work on today are a couple of things. So the first thing that we're going to work on is text analysis. So we're going to talk a little bit about the story, The Drum Dream Girl, and we're going to figure out ways to understand how actors work to understand the words that they are speaking on stage. And that takes a lot of character analysis, so we'll get into that as well. And I'll go ahead and send you that character analysis worksheet, as well as talk about it in a little bit for this class. And the other thing that we're going to work on is the what objective means and what intention means. So I'll also describe a game to you that you can play if you have siblings or cousins or guardians or parents at home that you can play with. Then you can go ahead and play that. So I'll go ahead and describe the game to you, and that's actually really fun to kind of teach you what objective is. Now, if you play a lot of video games and you know what the word objective means, the word objective basically means your mission. It means your goal. And every character in a story has an objective, whether it's short term, whether it's for the day, it's, I have to mow this lawn to make $20 so that I can afford a Nintendo Switch. Or it could be something that's more long term. So, for example, if you're in high school and you are a senior in high school and it's the fall, then maybe your objective is to figure out what school you want to go to the next year or what trade you want to take up the next year. So your objective might be to figure out what you're going to do after high school. So an objective is a goal. Again, an objective is a goal. And that also ties it to the word intention. So intention, and let me look up the dictionary definition of intention. So intention, intention, a thing intended, an aim or plan. Some other words that might describe intention is purpose, intent, objective, goal, target, end, planned, scheme, resolve, resolution, wish, ambition, idea, dream, aspiration, hope. So those are all things that mean intention, and it ties into what objective is. So intention, objective, it means the thing that you want, the outcome that you would like out of your certain situation. And in a story, it's what a character wants. So for example, in the story Finding Nemo, Marlin, Nemo's dad, his intention, his objective is to find Nemo, right? In something like Black Panther, Killmonger, he wanted to destroy Black Panther so that he could be the king of Wakanda, right? So that was his objective. And that wasn't his only objective, right? His other objective was to spread the wealth evenly. He just didn't know how to do it in a non-violent manner, and that's when you get conflict in a story, and we'll go over that later. But when the character's objective is what helps define a story. So that is really important to figure out when you're acting something out, or when you are telling a story, is to figure out what the aim is, what the objective is. So yeah, and I'll go over some games and some activities in a little bit. But first, before anything, the most important thing that you can do is to warm up. So just like athletes, actors have to warm up their tools. So in the next few minutes, what we'll do is we are going to warm up our tools, our bodies, our voices, and our imaginations. So let's warm up. You can stay seated for this warm up, but definitely take this time to use your energy and move your body around. First off, I want you to reach above your heads. Act like there's candy in the ceiling. So reach your hands up above your head. You can even act like you're climbing a rope. Now, wiggle your fingers. Drop your fingers. Drop your wrists. Drop your elbows. And then drop your shoulders. Now, take a crayon. This is a crayon in my head. Put it on top of your head, like this, and draw some circles with your head, with that crayon, onto the ceiling. Draw 4 circles. Now do it the other way 4 times. Very slowly. Now, I want you to take that crayon, take it off of your head, break it in half, and stick each half on your shoulders. Here and one here. Now, draw circles on both sides of the room with the crayons on your shoulders. Let's do 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now 4 forwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just heard some bones cracking. Okay, now take these crayons, put them back together. Just put it away for now. Set it to the side. Now, I want you to give me a superhero chest. So what does a superhero chest look like? For me, a superhero chest is nice and big and proud and powerful. So let's do superhero chest. Now let's do a villain chest. Villain kind of just gets small and tiny and evil, right? Now let's go back to superhero chest. Big and proud and out, and then villain chest. And small. Shrink. Now superhero chest again. Now villain chest. Superhero chest. Now villain chest. Oh, okay, good job. Now, I want you to create a ball of energy in between your hands like this. So clap your hands, use your hands. Now clap them together and create a warm ball of energy until it becomes nice and warm. Okay, Now wake up your body, this ball of energy. Start off with your head, back of your head, your face, your arms, shoulders. Let's go to your chest. Go like this. Ah. Now go to your belly and your back and your hips and your thighs. Now your legs and your calves and your feet. Okay, now I want you to warm up your face. So make your face nice and big like this. Eyes big, mouth big. Now small. Big. Now small. 2 more times. Big. Now small. Big and small. Okay. Now we need to warm up our voices and our mouth. So first you're going to blow your lips out like a horse, but don't make any sound and don't make any vibrations with your mouth. You just go like this. Now you can play with sound and vibrating your lips. Play with some sound. Okay, now let's go ahead and warm up our voices and this tool here, our face, our body, our mouths. We're going to do this by going through the alphabet. So with every letter that you say, don't just say A. I want you to use your entire face to do the alphabet. So if I say A, it's A. So make sure to use your cheeks and your lips and your nose and your eyes to do the alphabet. We're going to start at the beginning. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So hopefully your cheeks are all warmed up and loosened now. Now, let's get into some tongue twisters. I have a couple for you. If you know them on your own, you can do your own, but I'll start off with a couple. Unique, New York. You know, you need, unique, New York. Now say it again with me. Unique, New York. You know, you need, unique, New York. I say it a little bit faster. Unique, New York. You know, you need, unique, New York. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. You know, you need, unique, New York. You know, you need, unique, New York. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. You know, you need, unique, New York. Now let's try this next one. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. You might know this one already. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Let's do it a little bit faster. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? A little bit faster. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? And one more. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. A little bit faster. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. Oh my gosh. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, good job warming up. What we'll start with is we are going to talk about the story that we're working on in this class, and that is Drum Dream Girl, How One Girl's Courage Changed Music by Margarita Engel. So first, let's talk about any words that we might not understand from the story. That's a really good first step when you are reading anything, right? When you're reading like a term paper or something that a teacher assigns to you, or a book, or anything that you might be reading online, something that's really important is to look up words that maybe you don't understand, so that when you are reading the rest of it, you kind of know what's happening, right? So let's see. The first, if I'm looking at this story, I think what might be important is to understand the difference between conga drums, bongo drums, and timbales. So let's go ahead and I'll insert some sound here to have you listen to what the different sounds are. And you are welcome to look these things up on your own as well. So this might be what conga drums sound like. Now these are what bongo drums sound like. And this is what timbales sound like. So now you have heard the difference between the different drums. What is this story about? So the story, I don't think we don't know what the Drum Dream Girl, we don't know what her name is. She's just referred to as the Drum Dream Girl. So this story is about the Drum Dream Girl, and she lives on an island where only boys, people believe that only boys should play drums. So that's what this story is about. It's about her fighting adversity and her fighting what people think is normal or expected of girls and of people on the island. So that's what the story is about. It's about the Drum Dream Girl using her courage to change music and to change how music is perceived on that island and who's allowed to play it, because that's ridiculous that girls can't play drums on that island of music. Are you kidding me? So she proves everyone wrong. That's what it's about. Whose story is it? So it is the Drum Dream Girl story. And I guess if you wanted to like zoom out of it a little bit, the story is also about the island. It's about the island of music. What else? Where does this story take place? The story takes place on the island of music, right? I think most of it is outside. We hear about outdoor cafes that look like gardens. We hear about windy, wavy palm trees and a flower-bright park. The whir of parrot wings. So obviously a lot of it takes place outside. At carnivals, she talks about, the story talks about at carnivals, island of music. That's pretty much it, I think. A Starlight Cafe, that looks like a garden. Let's see. When does it take place? So this, I don't think we know when in history this story takes place. Obviously after conga drums and bongo drums and timbales are invented, right? So there you go. Let's see if I can find out when bongo drums were invented. You can also look it up in this time too. When were bongo drums invented? About 1900. So bongo drums were invented in 1900. When were congas invented? Not the conga line. Look, it's showing me the conga line. That's not what I'm looking for. Conga drum, there it is. 19th century. Although the exact origins of the conga drum are unknown, researchers agree that it was developed by Cuban people of African descent during the late 19th century or early 20th century. Its direct ancestors are thought to be the Yuca and Makuta of Bantu origin and Bembe drums of the Yoruba origin. So sometime in the 19th or 20th century, right? And what about timbales? When were timbales invented? Not tamales. This says when were tamales invented. That's not what I want to know. Timbales. 1900 Cuba. If we are talking about when this or where this might take place, maybe it's somewhere near Cuba. It's obviously on an island, right? And if you have your phone out, or if you have something out that you can look it up, this would be a good time to look that up. So Cuba, Republic of Cuba, located in the northern Caribbean, where Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, and Atlantic Ocean meet. So it might be somewhere around there, right? So I'll show you a map of where Cuba is. I've never been, but I have friends who have been. So it might be in one of these islands here. Oh, we can't see. So there's Cuba. There's the Dominican Republic. There's Florida. I think the Puerto Rico's right there. So maybe it's around that area somewhere. That would, I think, make the most sense. So there you go. We just made it up, since we don't know for sure. When does it take place? Sometime after 1900, right? And why should we tell this story? Why do you think that this story is important? To tell the story of a girl who wants to play drums. Why is this story important to you? Now, I want to give you the next few minutes. Let's go ahead and take the next few minutes to draw a picture of your reaction to the story. This is a good time to write about why you think the story should be told. So let's take the next 4 minutes or so to go ahead and write down what your reaction to the story is, why you think we should tell the story, why this is important to you. You can draw a picture or you can write a paragraph. So we're going to take the next 4 or 5 minutes to do that. Take as long as you want, because you can pause this, right? Okay, good job. Now that you have journaled a little bit and written or maybe drawn to kind of put your ideas down on paper, we are going to talk about objective and intention. So again, objective is a goal. It is a mission. Same goes for intention. It's your aim, your hope, what you hope to get out of a certain situation. For drama, it is what a character hopes to get out of the story. It's the drive of the story. That kind of answers, when we're talking about different stories, in the beginning of a story, we usually get a few different answers for us, right? We get who, what, when, and where. Now, that fifth W, so it's the 5 W's, right? Who, what, when, where, and why. Usually the why is answered with the character's intentions or objectives. So that's that fifth W of the story. And we're going to get into beginning, middle, and end and the 5 W's a little bit in another lesson. But objective answers the why question. So I want to tell you about a game and an activity that we usually do in class, but we can't right now. But if you have parents or your guardians, cousins, siblings, or anybody at home with you that can play this with you, it's a lot of fun, and it helps you kind of understand what an objective is. So I'm going to read you the instructions, and if you can play it, that's awesome. If you can't, maybe it'll give you a better understanding of what an objective is. So it's called Wolf. It's a wolf game. So students stand in a circle, and then I would put an object in the middle of the circle. Usually it was my water bottle, something that can stand upright and be knocked over without breaking. So a glass bottle is probably not the best idea, or like a vase or something. But if you have like a teddy bear that stands up, something that can like stand up on its own without breaking when falling down, that is the best thing to use. So you put an object in the middle of the circle of yourself and the other people that you're with. A ball is also not a great option because it can't just like stand there. It might like roll around and stuff. So usually what I would do as your teaching artist is I would choose a volunteer to stand over the object and close their eyes. So you can pick someone in your family to stand in the middle, and basically the person in the middle is guarding that object. That is your assignment, is to guard that object. The thing is, the person in the middle has to close their eyes and keep their eyes closed. So what I would do, the teaching artist, I would silently choose a wolf. So the wolf must try to take the object from underneath the person in the middle. The person in the middle cannot be touching the object, so you can't keep your hand on it. You can't be hugging it or anything like that. It has to be right under you, sitting on the floor, standing up on the floor. The person in the middle cannot be touching the object, but they can be guarding it however else they see fit. So you can use your arms to kind of like hover over it. If the person in the middle thinks they sense the wolf getting near, so yeah, the teaching artist, which would be me, I would be assigning someone to be the wolf. The wolf needs to take that object in the middle from the person guarding it. Right? So if the person in the middle, the person guarding it, the object, thinks they sense the wolf getting near, with their eyes still closed, they have to try to point exactly where the wolf is and cry wolf. So if I were standing above the object and I were in the middle and I sensed the person coming from that direction or from over here, I would go wolf. And you have to point exactly where that person is in order for them to be out. So they cry wolf. If they are right, the wolf has to stop and go back to their spot in the circle. If they are wrong, the wolf may continue their pursuit. So if I point and I go wolf, and that's not where the wolf is really over there or behind me and my eyes are still closed, then the wolf can continue to try to get the object from me. Then I would have chosen another wolf. That player then becomes the guardian in the middle over the object. So that helps you understand what objective is, right? Because the person in the middle, their objective, their goal, their intention is to keep that object in the middle safe from the wolf. Since that is their objective, what is the objective of the wolf? You can say it out loud. You can write it down if you want. What is the objective of the wolf? What is its goal? So the objective of the wolf is to take the object. So you have conflict there, right? So you have the person in the middle. Their objective is to keep it safe. The objective of the wolf is to take it from them. And that's how you get a story. That's how you get a conflict. That's how you get a problem that needs to be solved in a story, is when two characters' opposing objectives conflict with each other. So there's that. So try that game if you can at home. It's a lot of fun. Takes a lot of like moving around and climbing on the floor, or it's a lot of fun. So try it out if you have the time, if you can, if you have the space. So let's talk a little bit about the characters in the story. I have a sheet that I can probably get sent to you, but I'm going to read the questions out loud. And if you wouldn't mind adding this as part of your journal that you were writing in earlier about the Drum Dream Girl. So when you are playing a character in a story, when you're singing, when you are playing any character, right, there are things that are good to ask of yourself and about the character to get to know them a little bit better so that you can play them as well as you can. So part of this character analysis is first, the first question is, what is your character's wildest dream? So if you are the Drum Dream Girl, what is the Drum Dream Girl's wildest dream? And let's just use her as an example for the rest of this analysis. What is the Drum Dream Girl's wildest dream? So take a couple of minutes to go ahead and write that down. You can pause this video if you need. The next question is, what is your character afraid of? So what is the Drum Dream Girl afraid of? Go ahead and write that down. You can pause this video. Third question, what does your character say about themselves? What does your character say about themselves? Fourth question, what does your character say about other characters? And I think I'll let you answer these on your own. What I'll do next week is I will go over the answers for this after you've had some time to think about it for yourself, because you have the ability to do so. You're smart and you've heard the story. Just put yourselves in the shoes of the Drum Dream Girl and think about what this character is like. Last question, second to last question, is what do other characters say about your character? So what do the other characters in this story say about the Drum Dream Girl? What are they saying about her? What does the teacher say about her? What do her sisters say about her? What do the boys who play drums on the island say about her? What are other people saying about the Drum Dream Girl? And finally, to get down to the objective, what does your character want? So what does the Drum Dream Girl want? So you can use this as a template. I think it's going to be backwards. That's backwards, but it says, I want to, and then add a verb so that I can, and that would be the desired response, right? So just as an example, if I were Marlin from Finding Nemo, I want to swim so that I can find Nemo, right? So I used a verb and then the desired response or achievement or objective. So take a few minutes to go ahead and fill that out and write that down on your own to try to get to know the character a little bit better. All right, so take a few minutes to do that. You can go ahead and pause this video. And finally, a couple of last things. So for the next class, we are going to be working on storytelling. And we'll be going into the different structures of a story, what elements you need in a story to tell one. And so for this next class, your homework is to think about and or write about, choose between the two. What your first day of class for this grade was like. If that is too hard to remember, something that I would actually really like to hear about is what your last day of school on campus was like. So that's a little bit more recent, right? So this has been a very weird and scary and tumultuous, and we've just never been through anything like this before. So I understand that it's been, I think, like 2 months since you've been on campus. I remember my last day on campus, and it was with all of you, and it was with your class. And so if I were writing about that, I would write exactly about that. And I remember how, people were talking about this virus. It had been, I think, like a month since. I also work in the news. So it had been about a month and a half since people had started talking about this virus. And the last time I was on campus with your class, there was almost like a rumble, right? Or like a tiny, it was like this underlying fear. I felt like I was starting to get really scared about like who was getting sick, and just knowing that someone that I know would probably end up getting sick. And I think I remember it being hot on campus that day, and I remember playing the lava game with you guys with the carpet squares. But I know that your last day at school was, I think, a week after that. So if you can remember that, I want you to write about and think about your last day of school on campus, the last day that you were with your friends and your classmates and your teachers. What was that like? How did you feel? What was the beginning of the day like? What was it by lunchtime? What was it like at the end of the day? Did you know that you weren't going to be going back to school the next day? What was that like? I want you to write about it. And try to remember just any details that you can. And we're going to work on storytelling for the next class. And lastly, I would love to hear what you want from this class. Now, I realize that we're not doing this live, and usually if we were in the classroom together, I would have you raise your hands and you would tell me, this is what I don't like about drama class, or this is what I do like about drama class. Since we are now virtual and I'm sending you these videos, we only have a few weeks to do this, I would love to know what you want out of this class and what you want to learn. So I realize that not all of you want to be actors or performers, and that's kind of to be expected. But what I can tell you is that your storytelling and the way that you communicate and work together in teams with your classmates and your teachers and your guardians and your siblings and the people at your school have a lot to do with how you're going to be later on in your jobs, no matter what your jobs are, whether you end up in college or in a trade, maybe taking a break, I don't know. But no matter whatever job that you find yourself in, you're going to have to work in a team, and you're going to have to communicate and tell stories, especially during job interviews. They always ask you to tell a story. They say, tell me about the last time you went through something and you overcame a difficult situation. They always ask that question. So think about different ways that drama can cater to your everyday lives and what you see for yourselves in the future. Because I see very bright futures for all of you. I know that you can think of something that your objective, your intention. Think about what your intention is and what you can get out of drama class. And what you want to learn. So feel free to, I think all of your teachers have my email address, so you can email them, let them know, or get in touch with our director, Anna, who runs the Quine Street Project. So if you have any input, feel free to let me know. I'm open and I'm flexible, and I hope that this was a nice break from some of the other things that you've been doing at home. I know it's a crazy time right now, but just do the best that you can, Okay, so on the count of 3, let's say drama class. 1, 2, 3, drama class.